I was happy, I eat ice cream. When I was stressed, I eat ice cream. When I am celebrating, again ice cream. So Toastmasters and guests, please eat ice cream, whatever the moment in your life, the day will make you sweeter. So with a sweeter note, we shall begin our meeting. So to begin the meeting, there are 3 important rules to be followed inside this hall. First thing, please put your phones on silent mode. And if you are done, please give me a thumbs up. The second is when you get in or step out the hall or moving around the hall, if you hear applause sound. Third one, avoid talking about the sex, religion and politics. The person now going to introduce him is different from most of the people because he was happy when he engaged with the work. Maybe it was his profession or learning a new thing. His Toastmaster journey also reflects the same. His commitment to the club, he started as the associate secretary, then associate vice president public relationship, and as the treasurer, VP education, and now he is serving as the president. So now to engage all, we shall welcome our president, Toastmaster Srinivas.
Good evening, distinguished Toastmasters, leaders, and my dear guests.
Good evening.
Welcome to Bangalore Toastmasters Club, which is the largest and second oldest club in the country. Now, I officially open meeting number 1535. To begin our session, let me invite our secretary, Toastmaster Tejas Tomar, to present the minutes of the previous meeting.
Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests.
Good evening.
So here are the minutes of the meeting number 1534. The meeting started at 6:30 p.m. sharp, and the theme of the meeting was "It all begins here." The word of the meeting was embark, which means to begin or start something. The number of members present were 36 and number of guests present were 15. And the winners of last week's meeting are as follows. The best speaker award went to Toastmaster Anirudh Kami. The best evaluator award went to distinguished Toastmaster Vijayanand. The best role taker award went to distinguished Toastmaster Rajdeep Manmani. The best auxiliary role taker award went to Toastmaster Suraj Rao. And the best table topic speaker award went to distinguished Toastmaster Shashank. Apart from that, members were presented with the awards of the last term who were not able to attend the installation ceremony last week. With that, the meeting was wrapped up at 8:43 p.m. and with that we come to the end of the minutes of the last week's meeting, and I hand it over to
Members, is the minutes of the meeting is in order?
Yes.
Thank you. The minutes of the meeting number 1534 stands passed. Thank you. Today, we have a celebration. We have our induction ceremony for the new joiners. Induction ceremony is a new member joining to our club who provides fresh energy, new perspective, and strengthen our club. To conduct this induction ceremony, may I invite our Vice President Membership, Toastmaster Shivangi Bai.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Whenever a new member joins Toastmasters, we mark the occasion with an induction ceremony. Today, on 10th July 2026, it is both a privilege and a pleasure to induct 5 new members into the Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Every new member brings fresh perspectives, unique experiences, and new energy to our club. Today, we welcome 5 individuals who have chosen to begin their Toastmasters journey with us. Let us now welcome them in alphabetical order. Our first new member is a software developer with a love for books, stories, and new experiences. He is currently rebuilding his personal library, enjoys traveling and exploring cuisines, and has recently taken up rock climbing, even while overcoming his fear of heights. Through Toastmasters, he is looking forward to embracing new challenges and growing as a confident communicator. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Toastmaster Deepak Shetty. Our next new member is a realtor and property consultant based in Bangalore with a background in telecommunication engineering. Passionate about connecting with people and building meaningful relationships, he has joined Toastmasters to strengthen his communication and leadership skills. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Toastmaster Girish M. Our next new member is a first-year BCom student at Christ University. Passionate about public speaking and leadership, he also enjoys photography, creating videos, and exploring business and technology. Through Toastmasters, he hopes to build his confidence as a speaker while learning alongside his fellow members. A proud graduate of our Speechcraft program, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Toastmaster Joshua Tom Ponsi. Our next new member is a sales engineer with IMI PLC, Process Automation, and a mechanical engineering graduate from Tamil Nadu. Originally from a small village, he enjoys traveling and believes every journey helps him grow. Through Toastmasters, he hopes to strengthen his communication skills, overcome his fear of public speaking, and add a touch of humor to his conversations. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Toastmaster Murugesan Kumar. And our last new member is pursuing BSc in Economics, Mathematics and Statistics at St. Joseph's University. A national level basketball player, she is cultivating the habit of reading and has joined Toastmasters with a fun goal: to speak as well as, or even better, than her brother and dad. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Toastmaster Benisha D'Souza. Now I request you all to please withhold your applause until the ceremony is completed. Dear new members, you are joining an international organization dedicated to helping individuals become more effective communicators and leaders. You're also joining the legendary Bangalore Toastmasters Club. As Vice President membership, on behalf of Bangalore Toastmasters Club, I extend our heartfelt welcome to each one of you. Vice President Education, Toastmaster Puneet Surana. Do you concur with me that the mentors have already been assigned for the new members?
Yes, mentors have been assigned.
Do you concur with me that Toastmaster Abhay Kothari, Toastmaster Priyanka Ranure, Distinguished Toastmaster Rajdeep Manwani, Distinguished Toastmaster Shashank Bhatt, Toastmaster Vaidyanathan Duraiswamy, and Distinguished Toastmaster Vijay Anand are the mentors assigned?
Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Munir Surana. Will the mentors kindly stand if they are present? Dear mentors, will you take up the responsibility of mentorship and pledge to share your knowledge and experience with our new members?
Yes.
Thank you. You may take your seats. Membership in this club and in Toastmasters International is both a privilege and a responsibility. I now request all our new members to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I,
Deepak. I, Grisha. I, Joseph.
in the presence of my fellow members
In the presence of fellow members
of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club,
of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club,
make this firm obligation
make this firm obligation
to attend meetings regularly
to attend meetings regularly
and prepare fully for each assignment,
and prepare fully for each assignment,
to apply myself to the projects
to apply myself to the projects
outlined in the Toastmasters education program,
outlined in Toastmasters education program,
to participate actively in club activities,
to participate actively in the club activities,
to evaluate others
to evaluate others
in a positive, constructive manner,
in a positive, constructive manner,
to build open, friendly relationships
to build open, friendly relationships
with my fellow members,
with my fellow members,
and to bring other new members
and to bring other members
into the club
into the club
so that they can also
so that they can also
gain the benefits of
gain
Toastmasters.
the benefits of Toastmasters.
Thank you. You may keep your hands down. I will now ask only the members of the club to please rise. Please put your right hand forward as to take the oath. We, the members of Bangalore Toastmasters Club,
We, the members of Bangalore Toastmasters Club,
pledge to support you
pledge to support you
in your quest for self-development,
in your quest for self-development,
to provide you
to provide you
with positive, helpful evaluations,
with positive and helpful evaluations,
to maintain a friendly, supportive atmosphere,
to maintain a friendly and supportive atmosphere,
to give you opportunities
to give you opportunities
to help others,
to help others,
and to make
and to make
your Toastmasters membership
your Toastmasters membership
a rewarding and fulfilling experience.
a rewarding and fulfilling experience.
Thank you, members. You may take your seats. It is my pleasure, dear new members, to declare you inducted as members of Bangalore Toastmasters Club. I now request our President, Toastmaster Srinivas, to greet the newly inducted members and have the group photograph taken. Thank you, President Toastmaster Srinivas, for doing the honors. Thank you, dear members. We look forward to hearing your icebreaker speeches and waiting to see each of you grow through the Toastmasters journey. You may please take your seats now. Can we have a huge round of applause for our newly inducted members? Before we conclude, I'd also like to acknowledge our reinstated member, Toastmaster Saurabh Malak. We are delighted to have you back with the Bangalore Toastmasters Club. If you may please rise. I now hand over the stage back to our President, Toastmaster Srinivas.
Do we have any first-time guest? Can you please stand? Welcome to Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Thank you so much for making, and we make sure that you will have a memorable meeting today. Members, how do we welcome our guests? You may take your seats. Can one person, a common man, change the world? No. Most of us think that we require lots of money, great power, and more members. But today, I'd like to tell a story about a person who changed the universe with his idea and the mission. In 1979, a big flood hit Assam. The entire Manjuli island got washed out, which is the world's largest river island. There, a young boy walking towards Brahmaputra river. He saw hundreds of dead snakes lying on the hot sand. He felt sad. Right? Because there is no trees, there is no shades, and there is no place to live. If not me, who will help these animals or birds? Many people walking through the same river, but nobody noticed it. But he decided something different. He started to plant one tree sample. The very next day, he planted one more. And the very next day, one more. Days after days, week after weeks, years after year, he was consistently doing the same. Until people started saying, this person went mad. Doing the same thing. Can one person change the world? No. But with this consistent and resilience, he continued the same. Years passed, the birds came back, the same barren land became green. Animals come back. Animals like elephant, deers, Indian rhinos, and the most famous Bengal tiger. Now it's a forest of 1,300 acres, which is planted by one single person, one seed at a time. His name is Jadhav Mauli Payank. He is also called as the Forest Man of India. In the year 2015, he was awarded Padma Shri Award by our President of India. The same island is named after him as the Mauli Forest. Now comes to our today's meeting. Start small, dream big. That is what exactly Jadhav Payank did. He started planting one seed every day. In Toastmasters, every member who joining for building confidence, building communications, and clarity in their voice, and even leadership skills. Can the first guest or the first icebreaker can be a greater speech? No. Every speech by speech, every roles by role, and every responsibility we take, we learn a lot. Once we learn, we implement. Once we implement, we inspire. That is what Jadhav Payank did, and which completely resonates with our team today. A great forest cannot be built by one tree. A great club cannot be built by one person. And a great community cannot be built by one person. In Toastmasters, we build a strong community with our new members, with our experienced members. We like to grow together. We build more confident speakers and great leaders for the nation. Now, I'm going to invite a person to take this session forward. This person is one of a person who comes to our Toastmasters meeting with this bicycle from his residence, which is 20 kilometers away from Balarna, who is also a past Sergeant Arms, past Vice President Education, and past President of our own club, and the man with the flat abs let me invite Toastmaster Vaidyanathan Duraiswamy.
I'm ready to be here for the next 7 minutes for the simple reason I need to ensure that my okay, so I will feel short of breath. Okay, so that is more to do with my intake, right? Nevertheless, thank you, Mr. President, for this wonderful introduction. So a couple of weeks back, we have an installation ceremony. How many of you attended? Many of you. There was a person who came and started narrating some stories, right? So when he saw people who were seated at the last row, what did he say? So why are you seated in Hyderabad? Right? So come to Bangalore. Come to Bangalore, please. So Tumkur is also available. So maybe Davangere as well. You're fine. So Guru doesn't want to come to the first seat because he is from Andhra. He prefers Hyderabad and Bangalore. That's a different story. Gentlemen and ladies, so today session is going to be quite interactive. It's not going to be that I'm going to narrate some story and then you will listen, clap, and then go. No. It's something very unusual. Because I don't believe in this thing. How many of you believe in this thing? Particularly? Start small, dream big, and things will eventually happen. How many people? So, see, listen, how many of them believe? Hardly 5, 6. Many of them doesn't believe. Right? So, do you know why I say this? Because this is a T20 season, right? India is playing England, and then IPL just got over. And then, do you know how things work in T20? Can you just imagine Vaibhav Suryavanshi and then Abhishek Sharma came and say, hey, we will dream big, we will score 300, but let us play the first 6 overs. Let us start slowly, and we will just score 6 runs in the first 6 overs, and then we will aim high. How many of you will think that will happen? It's happening because they decided to score, and it's not happening. The reason is things have evolved. Okay, I think we are talking about the dark ages when we say that you think small, take one step ahead, and then you will reach a threshold area, and then you will start living. No, it's not happening now. It started happening so fast that it's a generation of millennials. Okay, so Brian D'Souza's daughter. Knows more than his father. Bruno D'Souza. Brian's sister knows more than the father. So that's the kind of generation we are in. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is you need to take a plunge. If you need to do something, achieve something, don't wait for taking a small step. Take a plunge and then things will improve. And there is one more thing which is called as a catalyst. How many of you have studied chemistry? So what is a catalyst? Sorry?
Speeds up the reaction.
Sorry?
It speeds up a chemical reaction.
Yeah, it speeds up the chemical reaction. Right? So do you know carbon monoxide is present in the atmosphere? Right? Yes or no? No, man. How can it be present? Oxygen is present in the atmosphere. Okay, carbon monoxide gets emitted from the water waste. Right? So, carbon monoxide. Once again, if there is no catalytic converter, carbon monoxide which is emitted from the water will can react with oxygen and it becomes carbon dioxide, right? But it doesn't happen. So that's why you use something called as a catalytic converter in the automobile, which ensures that CO reacts with oxygen to get into CO2. So the same thing happens in catalyst in our life as well, right? We have all the mediums. So we have benches, we have our own brains, we have the podium, but we can't become great speakers just because we have everything. So there needs to be a medium or a catalyst. And that catalyst is called a Toastmasters Club. Isn't it? Oh, only one person is coming. I don't know when catalyst was invented, but this gentleman, Tom sees that he knows the importance of catalyst. So that's why he started the movement called Toastmasters movement. many years back in Santa Ana and California, and ever since this has grown in manifold. And they have thousands of clubs across different countries, helping different people to improve their communication skills. I don't believe in the word that it helps in leadership skills, that's a different story, but it helps in communication skills, improving communication. Right? Now, I could see some 8 people who were here for the very first time. Okay? For the benefit of them, let me explain what exactly a Toastmasters speaking is all about. The first session is called as a prepared speech session. So that means they come prepared, the speaker comes prepared. They deliver a speech based on some project ideas. And the second one is called as an extempore speech, which is the one that I'm doing now. Okay? No one prepare. And speak off the cuff, based on whatever ideas that you get out of it. And there is one more session which is called as a table topic session, which is also extempore. So that means you will be given a topic. Hey, so why are we scratching your beard? Can you say what beard means? So you will come and speak about why we scratch beards, right? So that's called extempore speech. And the third one is called as yawning session, which is called as the evaluation session. So that means there was one gentlewoman who was yawning, so that's why I picked her up. So the third session is a bit boring, but very insightful. Always insightful sessions are very boring, right? So but today this lady is going to make it even more interesting. The boring session is going to become more interesting because she has been our president of a club and she has done many roles. And more importantly, she has run a full marathon and 41 kilometers. Okay, she started running. So 5 months ago, I think she ran a full marathon. I've been trying to run for the past 10 years, I couldn't. And she just trained for 5 minutes and she ran a full marathon. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome the general graduate of the session, Toastmaster PM IST, who works for one of the world's finest companies. Okay, she is going to be assisted by a team of the team, which is called as a tag team. As a timer, we have Navi, Trevor, so can you please introduce your guide, please?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Today I am been assigned as a timekeeper. I'll be helping all the speakers and the evaluators and all the people to maintain a time. For a general speech, the duration is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll be raising a green card. At 6 minutes, I'll be raising an yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll be raising a red card.
4 to 6 minutes.
Okay. For icebreaker speech, the speech duration is 4 to 6 minutes. But by 4 minutes, I'll be raising the green card. At 5 minutes, I'll be raising the yellow card. And by 6 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. For the table topic sessions, it is 1.5 minutes. At the end of 1 minute, I'll be raising the yellow card. And by 1.5 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. At the end of the session, I'll be reporting, giving my reports to the general manager. Thank you.
And we also have Ravi Shastri is there to give us last time.
Dear members, I have some tragic news. Due to the new member joining, I'm unfortunately no longer the youngest member of this club. After hearing this news, my back started to hurt immediately, my heart started to ache, my age started to widen up. But you guys, you can help me very much right now. What you can do, every time you use a crutch word or a filler word, my heart starts to take an unnecessary pause once more. And every time you deliver a smooth sentence, my heart starts to feel better and you make this old man young once again. I wish you the best of luck and I'll be keeping an eye and an ear on you. Please keep talking. Thank you very much.
And this is a day of resources. Robinson resources.
Yes. Today, being the grammarian of today's meeting, my job will be to make note of good usages and not so good usages of English. Grammar is as beautiful and as tough as the very life itself. A quote says, life is like a grammar lesson where you will find past is perfect and present is tense. And it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day, that is catalyst. TMOD has spoken about it. Still, please excuse me. In simple terms, catalyst means one who makes things easier for others. For a meeting, Toastmaster of the day, he enables other role takers to perform their roles the best, their best. So, Toastmaster of the day is a catalyst for the meeting. Over to you.
He spoke about the past, he spoke about the present, the future is also being bright. Because we are going to have three wonderful speakers today, okay, who are going to dazzle on stage, and they are going to do the first speech, which is called as an icebreaker. To begin with, let me start to invite a Toastmaster who has been with us for the past 10 years. Okay, he is known for his exemplary vocabulary, he is a voracious reader, and he works for a fintech company. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Welcome our first evaluator, Toastmaster Karna Dave, to read out the project guidelines, please.
The purpose of the project is for the member to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. The time duration, please note, is 4 to 6 minutes.
Thank you. So let's invite our first speaker, Toastmaster Mohammed Shamas, on stage, please.
So hi, good day all. I'm Mohammed Shamas. I'm from a world famous place known for its houseboating cruises and backwaters in Kerala. When I was born, I had a huge luck. My parents, who were with me all the times, and my father was my hero and inspiration, and my mother was the boldest and kindest human whom I met in my entire life. My parents get to know that I wasn't a kind of student who was excelling in studies. I was a below average child, where I had written many retests and failed in many exams. Even though my school time was rough for me, I wasn't lonely. My second lucky lottery, my friends who were with me all the time, settling into all the troubles and making fun of each other. And we were also at the brink of getting dismissed from our school. During my college days, I wasn't much concerned about my studies. And I have many arrears along the way. And most of them were due to my low attendance. But I regularly go to my college, but I rarely attend any classes. But towards the end, it had become a huge problem in my life. Because at last, it turned out to be a big problem, which I had scored way less marks than any other college graduate. And it was a huge setback in my life. Thereafter, I have decided that I should place myself in an environment where I should be disciplined. Fortunately, I was able to join MBA in one of the best colleges in Kochi, which was established in 1940, way before India got its independence. In MBA, I have performed well, both academically and personally. And most of my personal growth were due to my friends, my catalyst friends, who helped me to change the perspective about life in many different ways. That's about my journey and my friend and my people who had helped me to reach here. After my graduation, I have moved to Bangalore for job. And presently, I am working in an AI startup company where in SaaS sales. And what I am now currently looking for, or let's just say I am in the stage of exploration to find out what I am naturally good at. To find a person's what his natural good is to try on many things, try on new things and get exposed to many environments. That's why I opted for public speaking, where I know or I think I can find my edge, what I am looking for. And if it not, it would only make me a better person along the way. And also, with the help of fellow Toastmasters, I believe I can reach what I am looking for. In Arabic, the word Shamas means warrior. So I, Muhammad Shamas, may not know what I am actually looking for, but I know I won't stop until I find it. Thank you.
Muhammad Shamas, Shamas. There are many similarities between me and Muhammad Shamas. Can any of you spell out those? Two similarities at least. Sorry? No, flat ups is one. No. Yeah. He failed in most of the subjects in school. Yours truly. He went to college many days, but he missed most of the classes and he failed. Same here. Okay, so these two similarities, and I'm also trying to figure out the purpose of my life. The same is the case with him as well. But excellent Shamas to you. And the next speaker is also going to attempt the icebreaker, which is the first speech of the list of projects that you carried throughout your Toastmaster journey. And since the project guidelines are going to be one and the same, we will skip the evaluation guidelines. And then let me introduce or let me call Miss Nimisha Anand on stage.
By the time I was 15 years old, I had already lived across 4 cities in India. Started with Allahabad, moved on to Nagpur, Calcutta and then Indore. And now it was time for the 5th city, Delhi. Imagine a very awkward, scrawny teenager, thick glasses, cropped hair. That's how I landed at one of the most prestigious schools in Delhi. It was also, by the way, one of the fanciest. I still remember the culture shock from that day. But what I remember more vividly is coming back home and my mother's reaction to me asking her, Mama, can you shorten my skirt by 4 inches? Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
My name is Nimisha Anand. I grew up in a sheltered household where we were taught very early on that if you work hard for anything, you will achieve it. My father, an MBA from the 80s, he worked in the insurance sector. He still does. He moved across cities to build new offices and new business and took us along. My mother was a university topper in chemistry who chose to anchor her house. I was an introverted child and naturally had a very confused sense of cultural identity, which got me very close to books. Books became my anchor. They gave me a romanticism for life. They also made me a very curious child. And with some early academic success, my parents did what most Desi parents would do. They set a finish line and they pushed me hard towards it. One such particularly hard push landed me at the prestigious Sri Ram College of Commerce at Delhi University. Now, pop culture and movies, they showcase DU as the land of fashion, chai, momos, and street plays, which is 100% true, but it's also intensely competitive. On the very first day, in my classroom, I still remember having 5 state board toppers. There were 3 national level athletes, and my very own classroom also had the national topper for the CA entrance exam for the year. Now, my college was also incredibly diverse. There were South Delhi kids coming to college in BMWs who would share spaces with a state board topper who was also the first to pursue college education in his entire family. Those 3 years, they made me who I am. They were intensely terrifying. They were humbling, and it was very gratifying as well. It taught me how to survive in a room full of insanely smart people. We work hard and we achieve results. It taught me discipline for life. It also reinforced what my parents had inculcated very early on. Set a finish line and do not stop until you reach there. I carried these throughout my professional journey as well as my B school. I went to the Indian School of Business at Hyderabad. For the last 11 years, I've worked across the media space and mergers and acquisitions as well. I worked across Deloitte, Accenture, and Z Entertainment. Lately, what I did start feeling was, what are the kind of finish lines that I'm setting for myself? Is it the next promotion? Is it the next vacation? Or is it turning out to be the next weekend? And some of this was resonated with my husband Saurabh. Some of you might know him from Speechcraft. He has a genuine love for learning new things. And he signed me up for a painting class, an 8-week painting class last year. I had not held a brush in about decades. And it was also the first time in a long time that I was doing something without a finish line. It was also when I realized I'm terrible at painting, but those 4 hours spent every weekend were pure creative expression. I thoroughly enjoyed them. And that kind of pushed me to look at everything else in life through the same lens. That's when, 3 months ago, I hit a pause on the 14-hour work days and took an official break from work. The first few weeks felt like a vacation. They were slow, they were liberating. I'm making more time for friends and family. I'm chasing my hobbies. The next few weeks, a familiar sense of panic kicked in. Am I doing enough? Am I being productive? What is the next finish line? Lately, I've been exploring some interesting ideas. There is some progress, but I'm still figuring it out. What I am learning well, though, is the fact that I am learning to erase some finish lines and starting to enjoy the journey. And that's my experience. Thank you.
SRC, man. So one college which has got beauty and brain. Awesome. Do you know there is a subtle difference between Nimisha, Anand and myself? What is that? Any idea?
DU?
Sorry?
MBA? DU?
No. She went back to her home and said, "Ma'am, can I cut it by 4 inches?" In my case, my dad used to take me to a tailor and say, "Can you increase it by 4 inches?" Okay, so the moment I move to the next standard, I will be a bit more taller, but I had a same uniform, the khaki uniform and the white shirt. Okay, it was a half kind of a, we call it as a drawer. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, the same drawer lasted for 4 years because 4 inches tall. That's a good feat. But the best part is, no matter how many cities you have gone around, this is the land of Nivishamba. Karnataka. You are in the right place. And this is going to be a very interesting speech, or not the speech, in fact the evaluation will have a double evaluation. So the speaker is going to attempt the first speech, which is called as an icebreaker, and it is going to be evaluated by a person called Surya Prakash, and in turn his evaluation will be evaluated by one more person, which is called as an evaluation on top of an evaluation, right? So the person who is going to evaluate Surya Prakash Bhaskaran is our former president, an excellent speaker. The way in which he spoke 15 days back during the installation ceremony, that still lingers in my head and heart. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome the evaluator's evaluator, the former president of our club, the Punjabi Queen, Toastmaster, Ms. Kaur.
Good evening, everyone. The purpose of this project is for the member to deliver constructive feedback on another member's speech. Back to you.
Thank you. So let me call Toastmaster Sri Harsha on stage.
How many of you have struggled to come up here? How many of you have wanted to just run off the stage before a speech? I still am trying to prevent myself, but I have. And today, I would like to share my journey of how I went from being a timid speaker to almost being a good Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, welcome. Good evening.
Good evening.
Now, growing up, I like to sit in the crowd, be with the crowd, but not face the crowd. In that respect, my dad was the main person who was my role model. He was in sales, and that meant that he had to keep speaking with people. There was one advice I remember that he told me, one single line. Beta, याद रखो, जो दिखता है, वही बिकता है. And I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be seen naturally. So that is why I was always eager to take up roles in school plays. One of those school plays was a reenactment of the Jungle Book. I took the role of not Mowgli, not Bagheera. I was the tree behind. I said that I only wanted to be seen. There were instances I did try to be heard, and they were kind of lackluster. I was chosen to be part of an elocution competition. My name was called up. I had prepared a speech, spent 1 week preparing for it. I went on the stage, went to the podium. And then I started noticing something. Wow, this auditorium is so damn big. The curtains are so beautiful, amazing. I also noticed that there were so many seats. I also noticed one more thing. There were no windows unlike this particular room. Probably they wanted to prevent somebody like me from just escaping. But then, at the end of the speech, which was titled The Role of Teachers in My Life, I realized that the teachers in my life were sitting right ahead of me in front row, and I had only found them at that particular moment. That's it. I had finished my speech without any eye contact, no connection with the audience. Right? That's it. Fast forward to Jan 2026. In comes my time. Beta, you have an opportunity. There is a major industry conference. They are looking for an MC. I want you to be part of it. I said, Dad, not me. I'm too scared. I cannot do this. But then he told me, Beta, जो दिखता है, वही बिकता है. And the entrepreneur that I am simply said, meet me. Ji sir. And that's when I decided to write this script, put my heart and soul into it, and went for it. I went on the stage. I had a paper kind of like this, the script. I started reading from the script. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And that's when I realized I started looking at the audience around me. And then I started noticing their faces. I started noticing some smiles, some golden glow. Somebody was going through their phones. All these emotions were waxing and waning. And that's when I realized something profound. Public speaking is not about delivering words. It's about the connection which I'm pretty sure that you guys must have felt it. Maybe even feeling it this time. It is not about talking to the audience. It is talking with the audience. And that was the core catalyst for me to join this Toastmasters. Here at Toastmasters, I realized that the stage is not a place to simply shine. It is a place to make experiments, fail big, learn big, get big feedback. And the core factor that is pushing us ahead onto the stage to push our boundaries is you, the audience. This audience loves the people who are on the stage. I was pretty happy to be invisible, be on the stage, just like this particular banner, just be on the stage, but not really be noticed by anyone. But something about this audience kind of changed how I feel about me. I was emboldened to go ahead on the stage and just go for it. I'm not saying I'm not scared. My legs were shaking actually before I just came on stage. I still have my paper here for models of it, like an old man holding a stick. But it is still there. But you know what? Guys, I have realized something. Visibility is something that gives us great growth in the future. And after all I was said, जो दिखता है वही बिकता है.
ये दिखता नहीं, इसलिए दिखा नहीं. So ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for a short break of 5 minutes. So let's assemble exactly by 7:31. What message you have received on your mobile phone? You can choose the best speaker. The password is 1535. Let me repeat, 1535. Thank you. Welcome back. Welcome back. So people who are seated in Hyderabad can come to Bangalore. Bangalore, please. So come to the first row. There are a lot of empty spaces here. Vacant chairs. Icebreakers, please take your seat. And if you don't mind, you can. And now this is going to be an exciting session. So it doesn't mean that the previous session wasn't so. So this is going to be even more exciting because you will get to know the true personality of a person. Because he doesn't get time to speak, right? Time to think. You need to come on stage and then speak, right?
just an example of what exactly a table topic session is. Sir, do you know who is the table topic master for the day?
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah, can you please come and introduce him? This is called table topics. This is called table topics. Yeah, the session starts.
Abhay Kothari is one of the brightest, leanest, smartest Toastmaster of Bangalore Toastmasters Club. He was my colleague when we were in the committee. He brought in a lot of, he's a tech savvy. He thinks that 10 years ahead of you. So when we were in the team, he thought of bringing everything on, doing the minutes the meeting online and then using some plugins and great stuff. So he's a good guy, nice guy. He married recently, I guess 2 years ago. And one of his nicest speech was on the water repellent thing called WD-40. WD-40, and it was good. He'll make you cry, for sure. He gives you very tough topics to speak on, and he's a nice guy.
Yeah, this is what table topics is all about, right? So call someone, give a topic.
More than table topics, this is what called outsourcing. We're in Bangalore, so just okay, alright. So since the TMOD has very well explained what table topics is, I will only say this. If you are called on stage, and you will be called, of course, don't think about how the audience will perceive you or what's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Just come here, take a deep breath, and enjoy it. And I promise it's not going to be as scary as you're saying. Alright. The first topic is, and also one request. This is a session for listening as well as speaking. I will repeat the topic twice, but not again. Okay, so members please stay there. Your life follows your thoughts. Your life follows your thoughts. And for this, I like to invite Toastmaster Timalish. Listen better.
You might have seen, right? My thoughts are not falling. So it's taking some more time to remember and try to correlate with the topic. So yeah, coming back to the story, it's always chaos in my mind, right? My mind is like opening some 15 browser tabs. Some of the tabs are frozen and some of the tabs are playing music from somewhere. And some of the tabs are remembering something and current tab is speaking something, whatever it is trying to come into the mind. So when I try to correlate with life, yeah, it's always a chaos. So maybe I have to be structurally correlate all of thoughts. It's a train of thoughts or something like that, right? Instead of speaking whatever comes to mind, just to take some thought. I have to apply that one right now. Yeah, I guess that is my take on this.
Okay, we move on. And taking him from what Virumalai said, next topic is things are never what they seem. Things are never what they seem. And for this, I like to call on Toastmaster Amal.
How many of you can speak the language Marathi? There's a saying in Marathi which goes, "Dista tasa nasta आणि म्हणून जग फसतं." What does that mean? So I'll say that. Let me say that. So whatever things appear as, they aren't that way, and that is why people get fooled. Now, the point is that we often think that seeing is believing. But something which made a very profound impact on me is the words, believing is seeing. Just like the previous topic, your thoughts get converted into actions, actions get converted into habits get converted into character, and ultimately you go on with your life. So many a times, so I'll give you an example for this, that when I first held the steering, I never thought that I could drive. In fact, I saw people driving and I believed that I would never be able to drive. So I saw myself as someone who couldn't drive. But ultimately there was a need wherein I had to put my hand on the steering, keep driving, keep making mistakes, and then learning and doing it. So ultimately I started driving. So seeing yourself as a loser doesn't mean you are a loser. Start seeing yourself as something positive so that you can be there.
Awesome. Alright, now we move to the next topic, which is an idea can change your life. An idea can change your life, and for this, I will call out Toastmaster students.
In 2019, a famous person introduced ChatGPT and OpenAI. His main idea was to make it open source for everyone so that everyone can have access to information. And this idea was brought into implementation when he came in contact with Microsoft, through which he was able to build the databases and able to store the data. He is Sam Altman. He is the current CEO of OpenAI. His idea turned into actions, and the journey from the idea to action is more crucial than the results. And no founders say the setbacks that they have faced in their journey. They just say the people see the results, and if they are successful, every 1 out of 10 companies become successful, and OpenAI was one of them. Now we can see many AI companies. So in order to convert idea to an action, you have to have a proper structure and plan, and it comes through experience that I am getting here to Toastmasters Club as well, and I am generating idea and executing it. And it does not matter if the idea is not coherent, you just have to make sure the opposite person is able to understand the idea and able to perceive it well.
This is a very key and relevant example. Somehow table topics are connecting with each other. The next topic is imagination is key to innovation. And for this, I like to call on Toastmaster Mahesh Lokesh.
I think today's theme says it all. Dream big. I wouldn't say imagination is the key to innovation. Imagination is everything. Without a thought or imagining where you want to be, I don't think you will end up anywhere. Right? So similar way, you never know. Just like our president today said, the forest man of India. If he hadn't thought to build a forest, forget about the forest. Have you ever built a garden in your house? Planting trees? No. And he was dreaming of forest. Did he succeed? Definitely yes. So I would say imagination is everything. No matter whatever thought you, maybe there are a lot of young entrepreneurs sitting over here, maybe your idea sounds stupid, but I recently read a quote which says that if your idea as an entrepreneur isn't stupid to people, you're never succeeding in life. How beautiful it sounds, right? So many of the people or investors I deal with, sometimes when you pitch a company's idea, they feel it's useless or they don't sell for the idea because they aren't in your shoes and thinking what you guys are thinking. So I would encourage everyone to dream big, and innovation is all about dreaming big.
Certainly, Mahesh said it very well. Alright, the next topic is some problems cannot be solved by the government. Some problems cannot be solved by the government. For this, we have Toastmaster Jacob.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
And thank you so much for this thought-provoking topic. Government cannot solve every problem. I personally believe that it is an individual who acts as a catalyst to solve bigger problems. A group of individuals form a community, and the community acts as a catalyst to help the government to sort a particular problem. Today we have a big problem the state is facing to bring all the people who can vote in the government onto an electoral list. And believe me, it's mayhem. I suddenly discovered that my name is spelled wrong. And it does matter that the name is spelled wrong, but correct a name in an election list which has been formulated 25 years ago is a big nightmare. But believe me, it is the individual who acts as a catalyst, and it's the single step in a journey of many steps that the state is doing to formulate a system that each and every individual matters, and the data stored by the government is correct and accurate. My personal reading of this is, I face a lot of difficulty, but it's still worth it because we are working towards a state where digitalization is the most important thing. And believe me, they link everything, your Aadhaar, your PAN, and everything to an individual who acts as a catalyst to form something new. Thank you.
Also, you should be an ambassador for celebration. Alright, the next topic is time and tide, wait for none. Time and tide, wait for none. And for this, I'd like to call out Toastmaster Saurabh Manav.
Okay. Time and tide, wait for none. So that is quite true because when the time comes, okay. So basically, I would say one thing that if there is a one thing where all women, are equal, or maybe nature treats all women and equality is a time. So time is equal for all of us, right? But it depends on us how we utilize time. It does not wait if you it does not wait for you to utilize. If you utilize it properly, it becomes an asset for you. If you don't utilize it properly, you are just simply wasting the precious time of your life. Similarly, tide is something which does not wait for anyone. So this is both are actually rule of nature. They are both whenever it has to come, it is going to happen. No one can stop it. And since one still does not have capability to stop it and tide, so it is something it does not break for anyone. Thank you.
Okay, now since time is running, the next topic is our theme of the day: start small, dream big, and for that I like to call out Toastmaster Murli please. Start small, dream big.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Good evening. I forgot to speak a long time ago. You must start always small. A personal example. Years back, I thought I need to be financially free. So I did not know what was a Demat account. Somehow somebody introduced to me, and from that point of time, I started doing small savings. Of course, salary must disclose to my wife. Without knowing that, I used to take and do saving. Over a period of time, say 5 years to 8 years, you realize whatever savings you have put, it has grown big. When I stand today and if I see that dream at that point of time was not achievable. Today, I can see I have achieved certain level of financial freedom. So anything, if you want to start small and be consistent, and then you can make it big. So it takes time and it will grow automatically in a self-fueling way. That's my take. Over to you.
Right, so consistency is the key. Alright, the next topic is how are leaders made at Toastmasters? How are leaders made at Toastmasters? And this what we have Toastmaster Jan.
Toastmasters and captains, leaders are made. I beg to differ, my version, leaders are pushed into leadership. The stopping master per Toastmaster. When I say push, positive connotation. Because very seldom have you seen people taking the initiative, raising their hand and said, I want to be a leader. No, they just be a leaver. They leave the room. So Toastmasters, how leaders are leaders, it's scary in the beginning. We think it's daunting, why should I take it up? But once you take up the role, most of the officers, current and also officers just laid down office, will realize how much is benefited them. Because it's a thankless job, you don't get paid for it, forget bouquets, only bring bags. So that's why it's very nice leaders are made. But trust me friends, once you step into that role, amazing things happen. You just don't think about yourself, you think about others. Which you do at home, but what about people in Toastmasters? You don't know anyone, it's a large family, an extended family. That's the beauty. That's why I say they push leadership with a good reason. No one takes it up voluntarily, they have to push. So I will tell all the people in Bangalore Toastmasters Club and even other clubs, if you're sitting on the fence, thinking whether I should be an officer in the committee, sitting on the fence, don't do that. Jump off that fence and say, I will be leader. Amazing thing will happen to you. As the term is going on, you'll pull out your hair, you'll feel like, what is going on? My world is going upside down. But after your term is over, you'll realize the benefits that you receive are just unmatched. So go for it and push yourself instead of being pushed.
Alright, that was awesome. Thank you. The next topic is values are the ethos of life. Values are the ethos of life, and for this we have Toastmaster Guru.
Good evening, Toastmasters. How many agree with the topic? People are not listening to the topic. Thank you, Toastmaster. So it is exactly the values or ethos of life, no doubt about it. Today I was talking to my friend who is in UK. He's a CIO for one of the GCC. Just as telling them, was I did not make money, I did not make anything, but I have made my market right. The reason is if you have the values, no doubt where you are, in which market you are, which place you are always confident and you can do wonders. So I have relocated to Whitefield 3 years back. Then I was thinking, like, no, whether can I survive in Whitefield? Because all youngsters, generation, I'm the old generation. Last 3 years, I managed with 3 jobs. And I got jobs and now I'm in the 3rd job today. So if you have values and if you build your own way, if you have ethics in the market and if you create your credibility, you can sustain in any market. How matter you are a great communicator, how matter you are a great leader. But values gives a lot of respect. And most importantly, I resigned entity data because of the values only, because of the respect. Thank you. Over to the Toastmasters.
Well said, Guru. In today's world, values are losing their place.
Thank you, losing value.
Alright, now we'll have all the newly inducted members one by one, and very simple topics. Nobody's scared about me. And firstly, I'd like to call on, the first topic is your favorite school memory. And for this, I'd like to call on many choices.
Very chill and no boys. So yeah. It was a very nice school, and then but the best memory was probably like every lunch break, because it was like all of us sitting in a group and then stealing each other's food. Because I had this one friend who made sandwiches. Her mom made like the best snacks and lunch and everything. So it was like our mission was to take and hog on her food while she went to the washroom to wash her hands. So she came back to find her lunchbox empty. And then later she was like, dude, just give me some food, man. Like, I'm hungry. So that was literally like almost every lunch break in our school. But if I had to specify, then it would be my basketball days, where we had to run 20 laps around our entire school. And 20 laps for 1 hour. It was like tiring. So we used to fake tying our shoelaces so we could get like 5 minutes of break, and then just sit down there and then be like, oh yeah, so my shoelace is out, so what can I do? I can't run. So those were probably like the most memorable years, because looking back, I really do want to go back to school and spend those times with my teammates and my classmates, because I miss them and it was like the most memorable time for me.
The next topic is iOS versus Android. What would you prefer? And for this, I'd like to call Toastmaster Joshua Tom.
So guys, how many of you have Androids? Raise your hands. And how many of you have iPhones? So, firstly, it is not just that there will be no debate. But I personally like both of them for their own reasons. So, if I personally go for the specs of photography and videography, I will definitely go for iPhone and even for privacy and other stuff. And for, let's say, the space, storage, multiple features, and many more, I would go for Android.
And personally, if you give me a choice, I won't choose a single one. Not an iPhone or Android. I would choose both. And to be specific, I would choose iPhone for my photos and videos, and for Android for editing things, playing games, and everything which we're using for. And the thing is, I love to choose both of them, but my parents love to give me good lessons about that you should get it by yourself. So personally, I have
I was trying to start a war, but he refused the whole thing. Good job. Alright. The next topic is your favorite food. And for this, I'd like to call on Toastmaster Location.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. So, I would say the good food is ragi curry. So, I was from a village, so I know about the positive things and the vitamins and the energy that we can get from the ragi. So, every morning I used to take, when I was in my native, I used to take the ragi ball as like a solid form or a semi-solid form. So that would bring some energy for the whole day for all of us. So if you have any chance, I would recommend to take a ragi ball. It would be a good food for everyone to bring the energy for a whole day for all of us to work into as a full energetic, energetic person in our daily activities. Yeah. So other than that, I would prefer. Because I don't want to only stick with the ragi. Other than that, you could also prefer. So nowadays, when I relocated to Bangalore, I'm seeing here a lot of fast foods, junk, everything. I didn't see these foods in my natives, so it was entirely new for me. Then I was trying to search where I can get the cereals, where I can get the ragi. Then I finally found the food in currently I'm in one kid area. Then I found that food. So comparatively, only we are having that 10% of the shops are selling this kind of foods. So I would recommend everyone should consume the foods and increase the our energy levels.
Probably take note. Alright. The next topic is your favorite quote and why. Your favorite quote and why. And for this, I'd like to call on Toastmaster Impromptu.
I've heard a lot of quotes in my life. It's very tough to choose a favorite quote. It's like asking a parent, like who's your favorite child? They will have one, but they don't want to tell you. It's tough to choose. Given the theme, I think one of the quotes I would choose is a small step for man is a huge leap for mankind, which is very similar to what our theme today is. And I feel everyone should take that small step in their life where that could lead to bigger achievements or your dream, whatever you are thinking to achieve. You can't achieve it all in a single day. Rome wasn't built in a day. So there is someone who lays the first brick, and that's how you achieve that final goal. And I believe that we have to take those kind of steps to go ahead and achieve our dreams. Thank you.
I'm totally amazed by the way all the new inductees are speaking right. Totally season awesome. Okay, next topic is Bangalore or Bengaluru. Okay, and for this I'd like to call on Toastmasters.
expresses our city better, it expresses our culture better, it expresses the vibe of the city better. I've been brought up here from my birth. I love the city. I've been to a couple of places, but I just come back here. So looking at all the places I've been and trying to fix a name, I would say that Bangalore expresses our city.
Well said, I hope you agree. Okay, one more topic we have is dosa or paratha. Okay, dosa or paratha, and to this I like to call on our secretary, the short details.
Good evening, everyone. So, if I had to choose between dosa and paratha, so someone who's coming from Delhi, we have a very strong obsession to eat paratha with everything we can possibly eat, be it a sabzi, dal, roti, anything. You can even substitute everything which you have in your meal with paratha. And the different types of paratha which we get there due to the Punjabi influence. So it has always been one of my favorite foods to eat. And like as I have come to Bangalore, I'm coming to explore the different types of cuisines here. One of being dosa. So I think if I live here enough, so my party might change.
I think if you dine out enough, your priorities will change. Alright, now this brings us to the end of today's Impromptu session. Thank you all for attending it with such elan and being a wonderful audience, and all people who came here to speak. Awesome, well done. And with that, I'd like to maybe call on the TMT, but I can't call on the because I can't also, so back to the TMT.
A round of applause once again for all the speakers and the table topic master. A short quiz before we move on to the next session. So, who is the richest in our club? Abhay. Exactly. We all got to know how much he earned over the last 8 years, right? So, this is what table topic can do. Your true personality comes out, right? And the next. The guys, the Toastmasters who got inducted, were you a part of Toastmasters movement before? No? It's awesome. I think that this is the first time that I've seen speakers who are coming on the stage for the very first time, speaking with such an elan and clarity. Amazing, gentlemen. Now it's time for the session, which we are all waiting for with bated breath. Please. Come on stage, Toastmaster Priyanka Ranori.
A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and your guests.
Good evening.
As a general evaluator, my responsibility is to oversee and observe the entire proceedings of the meeting and share my feedback, my opinion. I would like to first start with the theme for today's meeting. A very thought-provoking theme. Kudos to the BP Education, their team and the committee. A nice team, and it is very important that these kind of, those very simple, these things are reinforced a lot, as it can get us thinking how important it is to take that one small step if you want to achieve something in life. Now moving on to the meeting, I reached the venue at around 6:20, and as soon as I entered the meeting room, it was very well arranged and organized. Kudos to the Sergeant and her team for this. You also have the board well written and up to date, all the road tables in respect of few changes that happened in the last few nights. Kudos for that. that you had a good start when you took over the stage. A nice, off-the-cuff story about ice cream that you shared, and you actually got the audience attention with that story of yours. And a very interesting introduction about the president, which I think most of us are not aware of. With that fantastic role played by the man, if I make a few suggestions, one would be avoid moving while speaking a lot. Try, probably start with like standing at the center of the stage and give your Sarpan arms speech. And then eventually start experimenting with the stage. Second would be, I want you to challenge yourself by adding a short story and tie it to the introduction of the president. Because it just like, okay, you said something and then you share the rules and you introduce the president. So try and challenge yourself. With that, a fantastic role play. Let's give our Sergeant arm a huge round of applause. The stage was next taken over by our president, but before I share my thoughts about our president, I would like to first share my feedback on the secretary. Being a very recent member, I must say you did your role very well. You conducted very professionally, and your minutes of the meeting was crisp and very clear to the point. For that kudos, let's give our secretary a huge round of applause. Followed by, we did have our induction ceremony for our new members. Firstly, I would like to welcome all our new members to this club of ours. It is another extended family, so a huge round of applause to them and let's welcome them. Our vice president membership, Toastmasters Club, you conducted that session very, very professionally. It was amazing. I also like the short intro that you had about every new member, which also helped us understand who are the members that are part of our club. So thank you for that. Overall, a great job. Let's give our vice president membership a huge round of applause. I'm moving on to our president. How does it feel taking the role as president, Mr. President? I would like to actually thank you for introducing me to this person called Java. Honestly, I've never heard about this person. A very interesting story. And also, I appreciate the way you invited to Toastmasters. That was really incredible. Though it's your second meeting, I felt like you're almost a pro being on the stage, and I think you've done a very good job. If I could do just one or two suggestions, one is to work either with the mic, because I felt only probably the person who was here heard you clearly. Maybe at the back you were not that audible. Being at the third row, I myself felt clearly. So a mic, or probably increase tone of your voice. The second one is I would have expected a much more stronger introduction about the community, because when you're introducing someone, the introduction has to be very strong so that the audience knows who is the next person coming over the stage. Otherwise, a fantastic speech, a great conduct on the stage. Let's give our president a huge round of applause. As always, you took over the stage with full of energy and good humor. I've always believed, and I've always told this to many times, you are a repository of interesting stories, and today also you did share us a very interesting story. And as much as I agreed with our president's story, when you started sharing your story, you kind of made me think the other way around. That in today's time it is important like you said, since it was so a little more attention with the names when we are calling names, especially when we are only. The second thing that I felt all the evaluators do not have an introduction except one that was Toastmaster. We could have kept that consistency for all the evaluators. And the third point, which I felt was important to be mentioned during the meeting, was the standing ovation, the tradition that we follow when a new member raise their eyes by presenting their first speech. We follow a tradition where we all stand and give them a standing ovation for appreciating and encouraging them for taking that first step. So that was something which I felt missed. Otherwise, you conducted and tried the meeting really very well with your energy and humor. Let's give our Toastmaster play a huge round of applause. We then had our prepared speech section. With that, I would like to first call our first evaluator, Toastmaster Bangalore Toastmasters Club.
Thank you, Brenda. Charles, congratulations on taking the hardest step, delivering your icebreaker speech. And for the first speech, you did a commendable job. So every accomplished speaker in Toastmasters started exactly where you are today. And I love the way you spoke about your childhood. You were magnanimous in crediting your success to your friends, people around you as well. So your presentation had all different stories. You had your childhood, your college days, you had humor, setback, and comeback. So it had all the elements of a structured speech is what we call a Toastmaster. And it also gave the meaning of your name, the meaning says a warrior. And as a warrior, you got incredible power to the podium. But even the strongest gladiators need to sharpen their swords. So let's look at a couple of ways you can make your next speech even more lethal. Number one and number two together, don't look down and don't have your hand in the pocket. You actually walk like Michael Jackson, but actually you should have off the stage. And the movement is taught really well by the oscillation of a table fan. Right? So just make sure that you have your audience covered and then get back to the same phase. Otherwise, you have to be doing incredibly well chance. Remember, Toastmasters is not about being a perfect speaker for the day one. It is about becoming a better speaker at every speech that you get. So today is your first milestone, and you should be proud of it. You should celebrate it. You should call all of us for a party.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bangalore, for such an encouraging and detailed evaluation. Let's give our evaluator and the speaker a huge round of applause. All the best, Shami, right? All the best for your journey. Moving on to the second evaluator, I would like to call Toastmaster Shreya.
Start by saying hopefully you all see in evaluation. Okay, you all have my point here. So good evening to everyone. Good evening. Especially my target speaker, Toastmaster Nisha. Let me just say that you should be dedicated as much as towards Toastmaster, because she is the one who got the Rising Star Award before even her icebreaker speech. So kudos to her. Round of applause. According to the guidelines, you had great introduction, body, and conclusion. So your speech was very structured. So that is a check mark. I felt the delivery, considering it was such an icebreaker speech, was exceptional. You had good humor all sprinkled throughout your speech. You were always smiling, and you were smiling, the audience was smiling back at you. So it made the club one happy-go-lucky. So I was smiling. It was a very happy day for today. So, yeah, you were smiling the whole time, and you had a very calm and composed posture. Usually when people are nervous, they'll be just walking around like a bullet train, like usually how I did during my icebreaker speech. But you were very calm and composed. You were just standing here and talking to the camera and the audience. So that was very good. That being said, here are a few suggestions that can act as a fuel for you to reach the galaxy. Sometimes you kept looking down or the camera. So there are audience here in the club as well. So if you focus on the physical audience and the online audience, that will be much better. So that it would help them connect you more. Okay, and yeah, you could have perhaps use a mic. You had a very calm and composed voice, like I said, but that also means that you had a very same tone. So sometimes your jokes didn't land in between. I saw that you laughed, but I think the audience seemed quite calm. So next time I suggest you use a mic. And this one last suggestion is use the stage more efficiently if you can. And you had a perfect structure, like you mentioned about your past and present and your future about what you're doing currently. So I feel what you have done, like start with the childhood here, but how many times you were transferred, and then it help you in transition, help you in better transitions, and then what you did in school, where you did schooling, and then what you're doing currently working as. So doing this will help you, it will make the transition even more smoother. Other than that, let me just conclude by saying you're not just erasing the finish lines, but you also erase your fear of public speaking. Okay.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Club, for such a detailed evaluation. Just one feedback, since it's an icebreaker speech, we only focus more on the basic structure. So that is something that we keep in mind. And just for the benefit for the audience first time, an icebreaker speech, an evaluator generally only evaluates on the basic structure because it takes a lot of effort, especially coming the first time on the stage and presenting a speech. But I do also, you can consider the points given by Toastmasters and see how you challenge yourself and work upon it in your future speeches. Otherwise, let's give our evaluator and speaker a job. Moving on, I would like to invite our third evaluator, Toastmaster Surya Prakash.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
I'm your target speaker, Toastmaster Srinath. Toastmaster Srinath, first of all, congratulations for completing your icebreaker speech. You have a wonderful speech title, Impromptu Toastmasters. I would say you were very courageous and full of confidence when you get onto the stage. What I loved most in your speech was the story, your life incident. It was very clear who you are and why you joined Toastmasters. When you got onto the stage, you didn't rush. You took time, got into the middle of the stage, you put up on a smile, you made the eye contact with the audience, right? And you put the question directly to the audience. So you got the attention right from the start. That was your first powerful 10 seconds. Your hand gestures were good. You were saying one. It reminded me the Rajinikanth dialogue from the movie Basha. And you are a superstar. That's it. You had a wonderful body language. So from the middle of the stage, you took 2 steps back. You put your hands like this to say, a tree behind you. Right? So that's a wonderful way of using your body language to narrate a story. And you were NLP your dad with a slightly modified voice. So that brought a different dimension to your speech. Areas of improvement? None. You far excelled for an icebreaker speech. I was wondering whether it is a path to icebreaker. But if I nitpick one area of improvement, so I observed that you were bringing the high and low tonality. So for the voice modulation, you were doing it intentionally, but during a low tone, your words would have had a very good. I like your story. You were calm and composed. Overall, it was a very good speech. I can't wait to hear your next speech. Congrats again. All the very best for your Toastmasters journey.
Thank you, Toastmasters Studio, for such encouraging evaluation. Let's give our evaluator and our speaker in round of applause. I will give a fourth evaluator some time to evaluate our third speaker, so I will move on with my feedback. And we then had a debate topic session that was taken, headed by Toastmaster, right? Keeping the time in mind, I decided to conduct the session over there. And I know on purpose to explain what is the topic session, because it was already explained by the Toastmaster of the day. So, kudos. Topics were very well selected for each member. Kudos for that, because every member who came onto the stage were able to speak on each topic. Also, kudos to you to make the speakers feel at ease, especially the new members who came onto the stage. Usually they were all very scared, but I think after they came onto the stage, they all spoke. One suggestion, if I could give, would be the consistency of, after every speaker, if you could just mention just one line or a word, or more of an encouraging word, and then go on to the next speaker, just like one after the other word. So that is a small suggestion, otherwise great conducted session. That's where our table topic, master huge round of applause. And all the speakers who took that courage to come onto the stage and share their thoughts in a few seconds. I would now go on to call our captain, but before I call the timer, I will first call on Dorian to share his report to us.
General evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. To start, I just don't want to say whether I am sad to say or proud to say, but I have not found any not so good usage of language. Beautiful language was used, and I really congratulate all the role takers for this grand success. And there were many good usages of language. I think the list may be a little long. To start with, the culture shock, shelter household, confused cultural identity, hard push, incredibly diverse, set up, finished line, creative expression, chasing hobbies, place of निमिषामा, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है, waxing and waning, fail big, learn big, innovation is dreaming big, financial freedom, no bouquets, only brickbats, sitting on fence, push yourself instead of being pushed, vibe of city, bated breath, reporter of stories, magnanimous, like bullet train. Word of the day was used by two Toastmasters. One is TMOD, another was Jacob Eber. Over to Chandra Diwali.
Thank you, sir, for such a detailed report. Let's give our remaining Toastmaster Richard D'Souza a huge round of applause. I would now like to call our counter, Toastmaster Abhinav, to share his report.
With the number of speakers we had today, it's a miracle for the first time in human history that I have started to age backwards. I must say, jokes aside, I must say that this meeting in particular, I have noticed that a lot of members have tried their best to deliver their words and their speeches as smooth as possible with nearly zero or maybe a few filler and crutch words. If I had to nitpick, a few members used a bit more than 4 crutch words or filler words. They are respectively Toastmaster Alagamed, Toastmaster Nimisha, Toastmaster Belisha, Toastmaster Deepak, Toastmaster Priyanka, and Toastmaster Shreya. But there are also those doctors in this room who have helped me feel much better by using maybe 1 or 2 crutch words. They are respectively Speaker Bruno, Toastmaster Jacob, and Toastmaster Sweet Prakash. I congratulate every single member for trying their best and doing so well in this room, and I hand it back to our general manager.
Thank you, our counter Toastmaster Abhinav, for a great report. Let's give him a round of applause. Before I call the timer, I would like to call our fourth evaluator, Toastmaster Amrit Kaur, to share her evaluation with her evaluator, Toastmaster Sudhir Prakash.
Evaluation itself is quite groundbreaking. And evaluating the evaluator is even more. So I will start, Surya. I would say that you did extremely well as an evaluator, and this is your first evaluation. There are 3 things that I would say that you did really well. One is the technique that you used to evaluate the speech. The second is the recommendations, and the third is the summary. The technique, you started with congratulating the speaker, which is, you started on a very, very high note, putting the speaker at ease and also making the speaker feel good about what he delivered. You called him a superstar, you also even told us how he excelled in his very first icebreaker. So you pointed out a lot of positives, and you also shared why you said why he is par excellence. You explained it, how he used his body language, how you loved the story of his speech. And you also showed the body language, the gestures, the eye contact, all of it. So you supported with examples whatever you said. That was done extremely well. Then you spoke about recommendations. You said the structure was done very well, very well. But post that you started, you said there is no recommendation, like none, but you still went ahead and did a little bit of editing, which is good in a way. If the speaker has done well, there is no harm in pushing them a little more. The last is, I think, you did summarize your evaluation, but I still feel that you could have summarized in a pointer manner. One, like structure extremely well with the story, then body language, delivery, and eye contact, and one recommendation for the future to work on. So the technique that you used was extremely well. like a sandwich. You spoke about all the positives, and then you came with one recommendation to push the speaker, and at the end you summarized. Although I would say that the summary could have been, my recommendation is the summary could have been a little better done. Overall, a great, I know you yourself is a par excellent speaker, and you made the person feel the same. So good job, and I look forward to more evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amrit, for the detailed evaluation. Let's give both our evaluators in front of applause. If I may nitpick, one suggestion, anybody who comes onto the stage and speak, if they speak in a language other than English, mainland language, always translate those lines in English, keeping in mind that everyone might not be very familiar or know the language. So that is one point I would expect one of the evaluators to have pointed out, but just a suggestion. Now with this, I would like to now call our panel to share his report.
Today, almost all the speakers spoke in the given time, and few people, Deepak, Shetty, Girish, and Tejas, they spoke less than a minute. And probably it is either it is a coincidence or planned, I don't know how it is. Mr. Vijay Anand spoke exactly 1 minute 30 seconds. It was about it. The rest, everything is done. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naveen, for sharing the report. Let's give him a round of applause. Before I sign off and leave the stage, I would like to thank the company for giving me the opportunity to serve as a general evaluator today. And kudos for everything that you're doing, and all the best as it's new term. And I'm sure you all have a lot in plan. All the best. One suggestion, maybe to all the role takers, is a proper briefing that a short briefing would be recommended so that there is no confusion anywhere. Otherwise, yes, thank you so much, and I would like to hand over to our Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, so before I forget, she was telling me that you will forget, so tell this upfront. So 1535 is the hostel. So you can choose the best evaluator, best role taker. So, right, so we are 10 minutes past the scheduled time. So I will not take much time. So a round of applause to the general evaluators, every speaker who came on stage. Nice to see almost the full house. Now it's back to our president.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vaidyanathan, for conducting this session with beautiful and memorable words. Now I request our executive committee to please raise. Yes, these are the members who is behind the scene of this entire meeting, who helped me and supporting the club. And thank you so much for doing it. We have our area director, Toastmaster Shalini Mukul here for our area director visit. I also request her to give a small feedback and experience in today's meeting. Can you please join us here?
Toastmasters shaking us. Good evening, Bangalore Toastmasters Club.
Good evening.
They say that you always start good things on an auspicious day, right? How many of you believe that? When you start something new, it should be on an auspicious day. This is the auspicious day for me. Because the first area visit that I am doing is for Bangalore Toastmasters Club. I absolutely love the meeting. Reminds me of this very interesting poem which is there in 9th grade ICSE syllabus. How many of you are from ICSE syllabus and you remember the poetry that you studied at that time? Young Toastmasters. So there is this wonderful poem called 9 Gold Medals. It's a very simple story. Here is a boy, there are 9 children who are actually running a race and one boy falls down. The other 8 of them come back, pick this child up, all of them hold hands together and reach the finish line. That is what I get from Bangalore Toastmasters Club. We are here to uplift others. I could see the new members inducted and how beautifully they spoke on the stage. And each one of you is so supportive of seeing other members grow. So it's less on the visit note, more on the learning note, because the best practices that are followed in different clubs is what we also as district leaders try and impart to the other clubs and tell them, hey, this is what you can do. I absolutely love the table topic session and this is my biggest takeaway. I actually saw the time. In 20 to 22 minutes, the table topics master, if I'm not wrong, he was one of the humorous speech contestants last year, right? It was Master Arthur. I remember your speech still. See, we remember people through their speeches. You made almost 12 to 15 people speak. That is incredible. You were very sharp, precise, quick, and one after the other, all the speakers came and speak. And this is one thing which all clubs should realize, because sometimes when I visit other clubs, I see the table topics master himself or herself speaks for a very long time. This is my biggest takeaway. How you can make the maximum in less time. Less is more. He gives me that idea, less is more. So phenomenal meeting. I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. For the first time I'm sitting at the back and listening to all the speakers who are here. And congratulations to the new ExCom. I think the district should change, revise their routine. They should bring the Beat the Clock award now. You inducted 5 members, right? Straight away one award would have come to you. But they kept it at the end of the year. But congratulations to all the people here. Reminds me of that poem, the ExCom committee, very vibrant, very energetic, and all the very best to you.
Thank you so much for giving us such a short and crisp experience. And that means a lot for us. Once again, for our area director, Shalini. We have a small announcement. The committee decided to start the speechcraft session in the month of August. I request all the members, please share this information to the member who are looking for a speechcraft session. Moving on to awards for today's meeting. Best Evaluator Award goes to the person who was crisp and more energetic. Toastmaster Karunakar Dev. And the best auxiliary role taker goes to the person who was just came out of hospital. Toastmaster Abhinav Shastri. And the best table topic speaker award goes to distinguished Toastmaster Vijayanand. I will present this award in the next week's meeting. Moving on to the best role taker award for today. The person who came to Toastmasters meeting in his bicycle, Toastmaster Vaidyanathan Durai. the Best Speaker Award goes to the person. Toastmaster Sri Harsha Undeman. My request our Vice President membership, Toastmaster Shivangi Bhatt, to please raise. Guest, this is our Vice President membership, Toastmaster Shivangi Bhatt. You can reach out to her to know more about Toastmasters and joining Toastmasters and about speech crafters. After the meeting, please collect your snacks and reach out to her. With that, I adjourn meeting number 1535.